And welcome to Hannity, and yet another action-packed day of news. Part one of the Epstein files were released. The Attorney General, Pam Bondi, is not happy. Pam Bondi now blasting bureaucrats in the FBI, not Kash Patel, for a lack of transparency after reports that a field office actually hid the documents from Bondi and newly sworn-in FBI Director Kash Patel. We've got all those details coming up tonight. Also, yes, weird Tim Walz is now calling Republicans Nazis and fascists. That worked so well in the campaign. Why would you ever want to stop? No wonder why Stephen A. Smith is polling higher than Kamala Harris and AOC. Anyway, he'll join us with more on the dumpster fire that is his Democratic Party. And is it even true that he wants to run for president? Really? Okay, we'll get the answer tonight. And later, the mysterious, tragic death, legendary actor. This is sad. Gene Hackman, his wife, their dog. Listen to this.
Okay. Are they moving at all?
No, dude, they're not moving. Just send somebody out here really quick.
Okay, my units are underway, okay?
All right, we've got the latest details on that tragedy coming. But first, more big news from the Trump White House. For decades, Americans on both sides of the aisle, they have been deeply dissatisfied with the federal government, rightly so. In fact, nearly 40 years ago, President Reagan famously said, the 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government, I'm here to help, and I'm here to help. Anyway, for now, for the first time, maybe ever, something very special is actually happening. We have a free-thinking president who is working outside of the box, not within the confines of the deep state and the bureaucracy, to improve government, to be more efficient for you and your family and watch out for your money and protect your rights and give you more freedom. None of his cabinet nominees are swamp creatures. No government department is viewed as sacred. All federal spending is under a microscope. DOGE is an innovative new way to identify waste, fraud, abuse, corruption. Major agencies are getting all overhauled. In fact, a federal judge just ruled in favor of President Trump, allowing the State Department under Secretary of State Marco Rubio to fire CIA employees working on DEI projects. Meanwhile, the FBI, Kash Patel, is in the process of decentralizing the Bureau, shipping far-left agents out of D.C. Maybe out of the Bureau would be a good idea. And Patel is even floating up a plan to team up with the UFC, our friend Dana White, to improve fitness and training of special agents, which I know for a fact law enforcement needs a lot more training. Now, back at the White House, a new age of diplomacy is dawning. When it comes to our allies and our adversaries, Trump is not afraid to deploy America's tremendous leverage. It was on display yet again today. Take a look.
This is indeed a unique friendship. It's been many years, and I think it's only gotten stronger, and we will make sure that it stays that way. We're going to have a great trade agreement. One way or the other, we're going to end up with a very good trade agreement for both countries. And we're working on that as we speak. Tomorrow, the progress toward peace will continue when President Zelensky visits the White House. He'll be here tomorrow in the early part of the day, and we'll be signing a historic agreement that will make the United States a major partner in developing Ukraine's minerals and rare earths and oil and gases, and we have a great understanding. I think it's going to be great for Ukraine.
But the media was telling us, oh, but he's being mean to Zelensky. No, it's called negotiating and hopefully ending war in Europe. Despite what you might hear on fake news CNN, MSDNC, President Trump earned the respect of world leaders. And here's more from Trump's joint presser with Britain's Prime Minister. Take a look.
Mr. President, I welcome your deep and personal commitment to bring peace and to stop the killing. You've created a moment of tremendous opportunity to reach a historic peace deal, a deal that I think would be celebrated in Ukraine and around the world. That is the prize.
And we hope it comes to fruition. Things are looking good. We'll see over time. Give President Trump time to negotiate. To put it bluntly, Trump is seeking out good deals for the American people, free and fair trade, reciprocity if they put tariffs on us, and peace around the world. What a horrible thing. What a horrible human being he must be. But many on the left, they're deeply upset. They are triggered. They are angry. They're currently trashing everything Donald Trump says or does. One New York Times columnist just compared Trump to Putin. Another left-wing publication accusing Trump of building a new axis of evil with America front and center. Illinois gluttonous governor said that prices are going up because Donald Trump is destroying democracy. Didn't they try that in the campaign? How'd that play out for them? Take a look.
If you talk to 100 people, knock on 100 doors, and I've knocked on an awful lot of doors running for office, and you say to people, you know, democracy is at risk, nobody knows what that looks like. They've never experienced it before.
Yeah.
And the reality is what people need to hear about is what the effects of that are. The prices at the grocery store are going up because democracy is being taken away.
Governor, you said that before the election. All you Democrats are saying that before the election. Democracy is on the ballot. Democracy won. Donald Trump won. The American people chose. Now, when you think it can't possibly get any more absurd than that, I present to you the ladies of the possibly on soon-to-be-canceled ABC Disney show, The View. This is supposed to be that hard-hitting news show, ABC Disney, but today, well, I don't know what to tell you. Take a look. Joyless Behar turned into a full-blown anti-immigrant, xenophobic conspiracy theorist by attacking Elon Musk. Who would have thunk it? Take a look.
The guy was not born in this country, who was born under apartheid in South Africa, so has that mentality going on. He was pro-apartheid, as I understand it. This is just perfectly wonderful for Trump. He can take a nap and let this foreign agent, an enemy of the United States, do his job. Now I'm getting some flack because I said that Musk was pro-apartheid. I don't really know for sure if he was. He grew up at that time when apartheid was in full bloom before the great Nelson Mandela fixed that. He was around at that time, but maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. He might have been a young guy, too.
Might have been.
So don't be suing me, okay, Elon?
Anyway, not to be outdone, her co-host Whoopi Goldberg made a false accusation of her own. Let's take a look at that.
I would be listening to this man if I thought he had one iota of medical experience. He doesn't know. He's fired everybody. Where are the scientists? You fired all the damn scientists. You got rid of this one. You got rid of that. Who is checking?
Well, they vilify the scientists. Look what they did to Dr. Fauci. Yeah. I mean, they go after scientists.
Dr. Fauci? You mean the guy that said if you got the shot that you're not going to get COVID and you're not going to infect others? That guy? After so many years, you would think that the left would develop just a little bit of self-awareness, little introspection, maybe a course adjustment. The sky is not falling. Democracy is not in peril. America is not on a warpath. I understand. I will try to be sympathetic. I will try to cater to the pain that you must be going through. Change can be hard, and that out-of-the-box thinking is not always welcome, and it's scary, very scary to myopic institutionalists like the host of The View. But so many Americans across our great country, and we've been showing polls a lot of nights, have been failed by decades of government incompetence, overspending, overregulation, corruption, intrusion into their lives. In November, voters, they picked someone who would take a wrecking ball to the Washington swamp. That's what Trump is doing, in a good way. If you're a devout Democrat with Trump derangement syndrome and you want to keep building the bureaucracy, you don't have to like Trump or agree with everything he does, but at this point, the hate, the hysteria is beyond insufferable. And the American people, frankly, they're going to get sick of it real quick.